Welcome back, friends. Oscar friend. It's time for more of the Great Ace Attorney. Let's go. I think last episode was my weakest episode because I was just really out of it. Work was really rough. Work was actually rougher today, but I'm not as wrecked, so we should have a really good episode today. Constable Beats report. This case has nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs. McGarrigan. Believe me, a London Bobby is good for his word. You see, sir, the windows on the top floor of the Garrett house are top-hinged casements. Obviously, if anything had been thrown out the window, we would have seen it. I did leave the scene to go and fetch help, but my trusty Raleigh was there to make sure nothing was disturbed. I didn't take my eye off the crime scene for one moment, sir. Besides the time I slept, nothing strange to report on that front, sir. He did fall asleep. We know he fell asleep. Well, this is quite startling. Top-hinged casement windows. That detail was not in the police report, Constable. Oh, yes, sorry about that. I must have been a little drowsy. You cannot excuse your sins with drowsiness every time, Constable. No, sir! Sorry, but... what exactly is a top-hinged casement window? Yeah, that's a good question. And you cannot excuse your ignorance with such trite remarks, my learned friend. Of course not. Sorry. I found it, Mr. Naruhodo. Cast your mind back to the windows in Mr. and Mrs. Garrett's room. Alright, I'll try. Alright. So the kinds that would open up like this. So the window opens in order to allow air to circulate inside the house. There you go, like that. But it's a top-hinged casement window. It swings open along the upper edge, you see? I had that at freaking school. I'm glad you've rectified your ignorance. A casement window's most prominent feature is its stay. A metal bar which prevents the window from being opened beyond a certain point. It prevents it opening? This is all news to me. Yeah, so it'd be, how would the book get out there, right? Like, if the angle's like this, and they're across the street, I don't know, but it has to have somehow, considering the fact it's gotta be that guy's book and it's on fire. Absolutely correct, sir. In other words, if a book or knife were to have been thrown through the open window, a dink, it would have clattered against the pane and fallen straight down to the pavement below. No! You see the problem, then? Good. The education in Windows is complete. There was never any possibility of either the book or a knife traveling 15 yards over the road. That is, unless the window pane had been shattered. Something we've discounted already. That can't... Hey! Did you see that, Riley? That young Japanese man just collapsed in agony. Oh yes, my darling, I saw it. I saw how he crumpled before me. Oh, Riley, you're so strong. How is this happening? I haven't even started the cross-examination yet. My argument's been destroyed. Counsel, if you could drag yourself upright again. The court awaits your cross-examination. It's always so weird how he gets up. My lord? Oh good, another desperate situation. You know, Phoenix got really good at dealing with these situations. I feel like that's why they started replacing Phoenix with other lawyers, because you couldn't just have one man deal with so much BS. Constable Beats report. But I'll be honest, I do not care for Apollo compared to Phoenix. I do not. A blam! How can you say that for certain? Very good question, sir. And the answer is this. It has the noble founding principles of the force written on it as a reminder to all us policemen of our sworn duty. He showed us that before, didn't he? Did he? I can't say I remember. To patrol the streets of London town and uphold the peace of the common man. It's what the job's all about. And that is why I can stand here today beside my long-suffering wife and tell you what Bob is good for his word. While rubbing my tired eyes admittedly, Sir? Oh, Riley, you're so manly. Of course I am, my darling Patricia. Oh, Pat. Oh, Riley. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's... Oh my god. Like, he's just not matching her energy because he's so damn tired. Like, what is he like when he matches her energy? I'm curious. No, none of this is what I meant. I meant, how can you say for certain that this case has nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs. Garrett? I see, sir. I should have said so earlier, sir. Yes, well, so could you answer the question? That was a waste of time then. Absolutely, sir. I will answer to the fullest of my ability, sir. There's a surprise reasoning why Mr. and Mrs. Garrett's domestic dispute can't be related to this case, sir. But before I get into that, sir, just one thing. Yes? I'd very much like you and all your countrymen to understand the great British institution of Scotland Yard, sir. So if you'll take back some tales of us London Bobbies and how we uphold our guiding principles, sir. I wasn't planning on going back just yet. I've only just arrived here. So to that end, sir, I'd be happy to lend you my... There it is, I needed this. So to that end, sir, I'd be happy to lend you my warrant card for your perusal, sir. But I must warn you, you won't be able to get through it without shedding a few tears, sir. Thank you, I'll try. That's what I want. A small folding wallet that identifies London Bobbies and contains the rules and conduct to which they must adhere. We gotta look at this. Gotta look at this. Let me look at this. There we go. Policeman will strive to preserve the peace within his allotted beat. A patrolling officer is expected to walk 20 miles around his beat every day for the furtherance of community relations. Any crimes fall into jurisdiction of the beat in which they are discovered. When a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with initial investigations and help detectives. Are we gonna see whose this beat is, I guess? I don't know, but that's gotta be relevant somehow. Hold it! By which you mean they don't open them fully, is that correct? Yes, sir. They're just there to allow a bit of air through the house, you see? So they're restricted as to how much they open, sir. And therefore anything thrown out the window from inside the room would simply strike the pane and fall to the street directly below. For clarity, allow me to mark the map. Here's the location where objects would have fallen. Could it have bounced off the bike and broken the bike? Yes, directly opposite the scene of the crime, on the other side of the rather wide road. Would it have been so hard for somebody to mention this top-hinged casement thing before? Yeah, right? Well, I have another question for you, Constable. And what would that be, sir? How do you even know? Why would you have any idea what sort of windows Mr. and Mrs. Garrett house is furnished with? Ah, well, sir, that's very simple. You see, I helped with the investigation yesterday, sir. Oh. Okay, let's go through all this line first and then see. You helped? In what way? Various members of the public were questioned in order to gather information about the case. That's right, sir. The sad truth is, we're all overworked, sir. So even though it wasn't under the jurisdiction of my own beat, I obviously wanted to help, sir. I see. Well, thank you. Oh, is it my turn now? We're gonna go through all this and we'll go back on that one. Hold it! But according to my notes here, the sun had gone down already and it was dark. Oh, but Raleigh and I were strolling along, gazing at the night sky and looking for a lucky star. Sorry? The star that will guide us to eternal happiness. Can't it guide you to answer the question? If a flaming book had cut across the sky in front of us, it would have lit up like a shooting star, sir. And if I'd seen a shooting star, I would have made a wish upon it. Let Raleigh be an inspector, I would have said. 3 times at least. Of course, what with the smog and everything, we couldn't actually see any stars. In short, are you trying to say that neither a book nor a knife crossed the sky before you? Yes, sir, that is correct, sir. As sure as the night sky in London is starless, sir. It certainly seems like they're telling the truth. And then we saw the poor woman fall to the ground, so we ran straight over to help her.
Hold it!
Yes, you said that you went to a nearby police box to fetch another officer, is that right? That's right, yes. If it had been on rally speed, I would have known exactly where I was going, of course. Don't feel bad, my love. You can't be expected to know the location of every police box on every beat. So Riley told me the way. Only, I sort of got a little lost on the way. Patricia, my darling, that's why I love you. Your terrible sense of direction is bewitching to me. What? Alright, so... only Jinx will get this joke at the moment, but... I need to find me a girl who looks at me the way this man does look at her. Because I have a bad sense of direction and Jinx hates it so much. Oh, Pat. Oh, Riley. Oh my god, these two. Oh, please. So I suppose I was gone for about 15 minutes. But, like I said, my Riley was at the scene the whole time, making sure nothing was disturbed. I was off duty at the time, of course, but a true Bobby is never really off duty, sir. You notice the dents in his freaking helmet? What happened to that?
Hold it!
Nothing to report. That's correct, sir. I had my eyes wide open the entire time. Never looked away for a second. No one... This guy... Now I get why I was so sleepy yesterday. This freaking guy. Jesus. No one was supposed to see it and nothing was removed from it, sir. Wait, was this guy even in it yesterday? I don't think he was. Wait. No, yesterday was a jury summation. I can swear to that on the yard's honor, sir. I had no excuse. Really? That seems a little strange. Beg your pardon, sir? Strange, sir? Seems altogether regular to me, sir. This burnt copy of the Lion's Pride was originally in the Garridib household. So the question remains, how did it find its way into the hand of the victim? Can you shed any light on that, seeing as you were at the scene of the crime the entire time? God, he's making me sleepy. I'm not supposed to be sleepy. I am juiced right now. Literally, I had a lot of strawberry lemonade juice. Could it be a different copy, sir? One that just happened to be burnt as well, sir? Really? Even if that were possible, why would the victim have been gripping a book like that in her hand? As we can see from this photographic print, she had a bag over her shoulder. Well, sir, that book was in the lady's hand from the moment we arrived at the scene, sir. Is that so? There's something about this statement that's not sitting right with me. The two mysteries of how that knife ended up in her back and how that book ended up in her hand. There must be some common thread between them. I'm so sorry, Mr. Naruhodo. I had no right to speak out. What do you mean, girl? I requested the cross-examination, Mrs. Garridib, without consulting you. Even if the judge did deny me. Oh, I see. Well, I agree with you. We do need testimony from Mrs. Garridib. If we're ever going to get to the truth of this matter. Do you really think so? Well, think about it. No matter how far it is across the road or how that window opens, Mr. Garridib's book found its way to the scene of the crime somehow, didn't it? You're right. And there was Mrs. Garridib's reaction to me showing her the knife. The woman's hiding something, I'm sure of it. You're right again. We need to use this cross-examination to uncover more clues. We'll get to the bottom of this one way or another, I swear. Yes. Oh, right. Okay, so now we do... Seems like there's two things, but this is one of them. So now we go clickety-click. There it is. Get you a girl that looks at you like that. Also get you a man that treats you like he does, apparently.
Excuse me.
Excuse me, madam. Do you have something to add, Mrs. Beat? Sorry? You look, well, delighted. Is there some particular reason for that? Oh, I was just remembering. That's all. We really were so lucky. I'm making a mistake here. Lucky, what do you mean? Well, of course I feel terrible for the poor woman who was attacked. Don't misunderstand me, please. But we were just so lucky it didn't happen on Raleigh's beat. It was so close, you see. Oh, I hadn't realized. Oh yes, that street, Briar Road, that's the boundary between Raleigh's beat and the next one. Ah! 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 Oh my god! Oh my god! Isn't that right, my love? Constable beat! Huh? Oh, yes, that's right. That's because I was helping out with interviewing the occupants of the Garrett household yesterday. Their house is on my beat, you see, sir? That really was cutting it close then. Wait! Constable, I wonder if you could clarify something? If the Garrett household is on your beat, does that mean that the pavement next to it is as well? Outside Mr. Garrett's house? Yes, ma'am. The pavement on that side of the road is part of my beat. I see. I was unaware of that. Just think, if the woman had been attacked just on the other side of Briar Road, we would never have been able to go for that meal to celebrate our wedding anniversary. But that's the life of a bobby, after all. Extraordinary people are bobbies, tirelessly working for the benefit of all Londoners. Do you know what I think? I think it was the good Lord's way of rewarding my Rowley for all his hard work. Don't you think so, my darling? That must be it, Pat, my love. That must be it. I think perhaps we should make sure we have that information officially on record. Yes! Leave it to me, Mr. Naruhodo. I'll take care of it immediately. I think she's got it. I think she's caught on, too. She's cotton on. And now it's my turn, I think. I think she understands why. Can I ask you something? Oh my god, what? Please, Mr. Lawyer, sir? Oh my god. Oh my god, I was about to get her ass, and this is happening now. Oh, yes, of course. What is it? You're doubting us, aren't you? I can tell. What? I wasn't really. I mean, what's she doing? Please, just because I'm a woman, it doesn't make my testimony any less valuable. You might just see me as the wife of a policeman, but I'm a woman, my word I am. I really don't remember ever suggesting that I doubted you. No excuses, I don't want to hear it. My voice will be heard. My lord, will you all let me speak, won't you? Yes, Mrs. Beat. I will allow you to supplement your testimony if you so desire. Sometimes the path of least resistance is the sage one. That was a very loud mutter. I heard that. That Japanese man thinks a policeman's wife. My wife's words count for nothing, does he? He's putting a lot of words in his... Well, watch out, sir. I might let you get away with something like that, but not my rally. Duly noted, Mrs. Beat. Please, I humbly ask you to continue. What could she possibly be about to say, I wonder? Oh, did she just add a line? I know what I saw. My eyes never let me down. My sense of direction is a little off sometimes, though. Now, we heard that line before, didn't we? Yeah, she only had 2 lines, didn't she? This is the new line, isn't it? Because there were only 5 lines. Okay, let's press this, I guess?
Hold it!
Mrs. Beat, nobody's questioning what you've told us. I saw it. I did. That evening, I saw it clearly. That little Eastern man with the whiskers and the funny curved back slinking away from the scene. And I know what I didn't see as well. I didn't see any flaming books or knives flying through the sky. All very clear. You also mentioned something about having a poor sense of direction? Oh yes, well, That's a little embarrassing, really. I'm always ending up at the wrong place when I've made arrangements to meet Raleigh. He gets ever so cross. I was wondering if there would be one for him, but let's keep going for now. Oh, well, we've all made mistakes like that from time to time, I'm sure. I got the wrong church the other day of her. Oh, God! Oh, God! I would probably do it, too. Oh, I'd be in trouble. I got the wrong church on the day of our wedding, I remember. It caused a terrible kerfuffle. I very nearly got married to someone I'd never even met before. What the hell? That would most certainly not do, madam. Anyway, continue with your testimony, please, Constable. Yes, sir. Okay, now we'll go back and see what his whole thing is. Come on, there it is.
Excuse me.
Hey, bro, what's up? Constable Beat, is there a problem? He is making me sleepy, and I should not be sleepy right now. No, sir. No problem, sir. Did your wife's remark just now bring something to mind, perhaps? Oh, well, in a way, sir. Yes, sir. I was just remembering that same thing happened that evening as well, is all, sir. You know what would have been a good voice, Jinx, is the slow bear voice. That would have been good, too, but oh my god, this would go forever. I was remembering that the same thing happened that evening, is all. Oh god, we'd be here forever. Huh? You mean Mrs. Beat lost her way on the night of the incident? Well, you see, I sent her off to find a police box in the next beat over from mine. But she was gone a fair bit longer than what I was expecting, sir. I thought she'd be back inside 10 minutes, but my darling was gone for good 15. Oh, Riley, you're such a tease. The reason I was so long was because of the bouquet, silly. The bouquet? Sorry, what bouquet are you talking about? Oh, it was a present for our wedding anniversary. Riley's so romantic. He saved up for it with farthings and hay pennies and halfpennies he found in the gutter while doing his rounds. Yes, how romantic. I'd forgotten all about it until just now. Had you, my darling? Oh. Oh, yes. But that was just between us. Sir? Don't talk about it to anyone else, darling. You had to promise. Really? Oh. What was that all about? Constable Beat looked very obviously troubled during that exchange. I'm afraid I can't offer any useful insight, Mr. Naruhodo. But I'm quite sure one thing. Let's ask Mrs. Beat about the bouquet. Get her ass. Mrs. Beat, this bouquet you just mentioned. I'd like you to add details about it to your testimony, please. Oh, really? Yes, I'd love to. I like he was just standing there just letting all this go. What happened was I dropped my bouquet and ended up losing my way for a while.
Hold it!
You mean you dropped the bouquet at the scene of the crime? Yes, that's right. Oh, I was so upset. We ran over and saw it was a woman with a knife in her back. I was so shocked I dropped the bouquet Raleigh gave me. I was in a dark spot where the streetlights weren't casting any light, so I didn't notice at first. And then you went to the police box to report it to the policeman whose beat it was on? Yes, and I came back to the scene together with the other constable, you see. That's when I spotted my bouquet again. But the funny thing was, when I went to pick it up, it was nowhere near the victim's body at all. Oh! In case you need reminding, Miss Beat, the victim is not deceased. I was all flustered for a moment before I heard a voice calling me from the other side of the road. Your husband, presumably. That's right, silly me. I'd gone over to the wrong side of the street. Although I'm going to blame the bouquet this time, I can't think how you got there. I really can't. So the bouquet somehow moved from one side of Briar Road to the opposite. Curious indeed. Isn't it? But the worst of it is, I forgot to pick the bouquet up again when we left the scene. The beautiful rose Riley bought me with that change from the gutter he spent so long collecting. By bouquet, You perhaps mean this? Sorry, solitary rose? Oh! Oh, yes, that's it! That's the bouquet Riley bought me for my anniversary, with all bits of change you found in the gutter. Maybe just call it a rose? Tell us, Lord Von Zeeks, where did you come by the flower? According to the report by the police officer in charge of the crime scene investigation, it was found on the edge of the pavement in front of the Garadib household. In front of the Garadib's house? Although it wasn't noticed until the morning, as it lay where the street lamps cast no light. It was believed to be of no relevance to the case, since it was found on the opposite side of the thoroughfare. Oh, thank you, sir, thank you. Can I have it back now, please? No, I think for good measure this rose should be added to the court record as evidence. Oh. The anniversary bouquet has been added to the court record. Present for Patricia Beat from her husband Raleigh. The shock of seeing the stabbed victim caused Mrs. Beat to drop the rose where she stood. But it's a symbol of our love. I want it back after the trial, do you hear me? I want it back. Oh, good grief. Yes, rest assured that I shall do my very best not to forget Mrs. Beat. Alright, so we just learned some things. Let's go ahead and take a look at this rose. Let's see, what we got here. It's a very stylish paper, though, flowers wrapped in, isn't it? It's just an old newspaper, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, I suppose it's because I'm not used to seeing English print. It looks so exotic to me. Ah, I see. Is something wrong? Oh, no, I was just thinking that if you wrapped a stone-baked sweet potato in English paper, it might look like some sort of fancy cake. Ah, Mrs. Sato, you do love your cakes. Whoop! An English rose. It's such a beautiful flower. Ah, this is a rose, is it? I've never seen one before. Do you not take any interest in flowers, Miss Naruhodo? I wouldn't say that exactly, but I do know 3 types at least. Gosh, 3? Yes. Plum blossom, peach blossom, and cherry blossom. Oh my god. Perhaps you should consider branching out, letting some that aren't fruit tree based, for example? This is about the paper again? Now, what is here that could be relevant? Is there nothing relevant here? There's something I do want to get them on, but I'm still looking here. I guess there's nothing else. No, okay, I guess that's it. Alright, okay, pull back, pull out, pull back. Oh, that's new! Let's go back. Well, Miss Naruhodo, what do you make of all this? Yes. The whole idea of an invisible attacker has been troubling me all along. But I believe I'm starting to get a picture of what really happened here now. The 4th book that had been no business being at the scene of the crime made me sure that Mrs. Garadib was hiding something from us. But it's becoming increasingly clear that someone else has been hiding something from us as well. I think I may already be armed with everything I need to strike a decisive blow here. This time, it's going to expose the whole truth about this mysterious affair. What is? Okay, so we have the answer. My problem is I'm not smart enough to see where I'm supposed to hit them. Okay, what if I do a bunch of pressing again? Let's press them all again. We got her on this before. Okay, so we don't need to get her on that again. Yeah, help with investigation. We got her on that. Go back really quick, though, actually. 1 second here. Press him again. And get her exact words again. Okay, so she said this side is his jurisdiction. Which means this side is not? Where did she say those lines? That's where we're gonna get him. Where did she say it's his jurisdiction? And then we'll get him there. The house is on my beat. Okay. The house is on his beat. Garrett household is on your beat. Does that mean that the pavement next to it is as well? Yes, that's his beat as well. Yeah, she attacked on the other side of the road. Never been able to go for that meal to celebrate our wedding anniversary. That's the life of... Did he move her? I think this is where we get them. Scum save. Scum save! Alright, let's see. Is this where we get them? Or if it's another spot? My problem is I don't know where to put it exactly. Wrong spot! Damn it! No. Okay, let's read this out since we did it wrong. Objection, present warrant card. The witness's last statement is clearly at odds with this piece of evidence. Oh! And for heaven's sake, would you kindly desist from that wide-eyed, panic-stricken look you won't to wear? But it's the only panic-stricken look I know. Was it the wrong evidence? Was it the wrong spot? Was it the wrong spot? Maybe it was the wrong spot. Maybe it's here. Maybe we put it here. It's one of these two items, obviously. The thing is, like, where do we put it? Let's do it here. It's not here. It's not here either. Damn it! It's not here either. They moved the body because they would have not been able to do their anniversary. So, try this one. Objection. Oh, it's the freaking... Alright, fine. Keep it. Keep it. Keep it. We don't have to scum load. We're okay. You claim, Constable Beat, there was nothing to report in the 15 or so minutes you were guarding the scene. But that cannot be. What? What do you mean to say? In your testimony just now, Mrs. Beat, you explained to the court that when you arrived back at the scene of the crime with the policeman assigned to that beat, the bouquet you had dropped at the victim's side was no longer anywhere nearby.
Objection!
Yes, on the opposite side of our road to where the victim was attacked. But considering the size of that meager bouquet, if a single sorry bloom can be so described, so mean. No doubt it was blown in the wind across the street, back into the gutter where it belongs. Wow! Meager? Objection! But if that were the case, why did Constable Beat not testify to the fact? No one else approached the scene, and nothing was removed from it. Constable Beat swore to that on Scotland Yard's honor. But the bouquet belonged to me. It has nothing to do with the case. That's why Raleigh didn't mention it, I'm sure. No, because sadly, it's not only your bouquet we're talking about here. More than one thing in this case is mysteriously the wrong way around. What are you talking about? Think about it. Besides Mrs. Beat's bouquet, there's Mr. Garridib's book. Mr. Garridib's copy of The Lion's Pride, which was thrown out the window by his wife, would have struck the pane of the casement window and landed here on the west side of the street. And yet, it was actually found here on the opposite side of the road in the victim's hand. Meanwhile, according to the testimony we've heard, Mrs. Beat's bouquet should have been dropped here at the scene of the crime, on the east side of the road. But in fact, it was actually found here on the opposite side of the road, in front of Mr. and Mrs. Garridib's house. There's no logical explanation for those things. Unless somebody deliberately moved them. Rob. What are you trying to say? The way you're talking, it sounds like you think my Raleigh's done something wrong. Don't you listen to a word that scrawny lawyer says. Whittering on about books and bouquets. Why should we care? It's nitpicking, that's what it is. Oh good, Mrs. Garridib's come around. You might call it nitpicking, Miss Garridib. But deliberately meddling with the scene of a crime is a criminal offense. It's called, tampering, Mr. Naruhodo. Ooh, ooh, ooh. But the person responsible for this tampering cannot admit to it. For a very subtle but compelling reason.
Objection!
Tampering? You've barely heard the term before. Tell us, my learned friend, who would possibly have had cause to carry out such an elaborate deception? Yes, there is someone who tampered with the scene of the crime that evening. All the evidence, all testimony points to that one particular person. Counsel, I must demand that you substantiate this conjecture. Who are you saying is responsible for tampering with the scene of the crime? What?
Take that!
Obviously, there's only one person it could have been. Constable Raleigh Beat, it was you! What? A policeman? A member of Scotland Yard? What nonsense! Why would my Raleigh do something like that? He's no straighter than my husband. No, Bobby works more tirelessly for the people of London. Mrs. Beat, you said in your testimony that your husband asked you to go to a nearby police box to fetch the officer on duty. The 15 minutes that you were absent from the scene is the only opportunity anyone had to tamper with it. You're making it up. It's all nonsense. It's all lies. What about the Japanese man with the whiskers? I bet it was him. He did it.
Objection!
If that was true, Constable Beat would have seen him do it. Oh. And forgive me for pointing it out, but when you dropped your bouquet, Mrs. Beat, it was after the defendant had fled the scene. Well.
Objection!
First you make accusations about the landlord and his wife, and now you incriminate a policeman as well. But your accusations lack one very important thing. You claim the crime scene was tampered with. But there's only one reason anyone would commit such a reckless crime. To hide something. That's right, he's right. But my husband and I just happened to be there, that's all. So why would we have had anything to hide? It doesn't make sense. You've offered no motive for this... There it is! You've offered no motive for this alleged tampering. And until you do, your accusations are nothing but empty threats. Here it comes. Constable Beat had a very good reason for wanting to tamper with the scene of the crime. That's the key to this entire affair. Mr. Naruhodo, have you managed to solve this mystery? Counsel, you have made a very serious accusation against a London police officer. If you are mistaken, I'm sure I need not point out that your reputation as a lawyer will be irrevocably damaged. With that stark warning in mind, you will now explain to the court the motive for this alleged tampering. Yes, my lord. Constable Beat's motive for tampering with the crime scene was to hide where the victim fell. Where the victim fell to the ground. That is what this Bobby had to cover up. At all costs. What? Where the victim fell? You mean where she was attacked? What are you talking about? Told you at the very start, didn't we? On the pavement of Briar Road. We saw it happen, I remember. It was right here, as if anyone didn't already know. That's certainly what everybody has been led to believe. But in fact, that isn't where the victim was stabbed at all. What? What? I'm beginning to wonder where this tumultuous trial will end, Counsel. If that's your assertion, then the court is dying to know, my Nipponese friend. Why are you proposing that the crime actually took place that evening? Right or dare! Present. But that's... on the opposite side of the road? I don't understand. On the evening in question, Mr. Gerdip's book fell directly down from the open window above. And your bouquet, Mrs. Beat, never moved at all. What did move was the scene of the crime itself. Good gracious! Oh, Santa. Oh, Santa.
Objection!
Perhaps you haven't been listening to the ample testimony the court has heard. But these witnesses both saw the moment the attack took place. That's right, I saw it with my own eyes. It was 5 o'clock in the evening and already dark. There was the typical London fog on the ground. When you saw the incident unfold and ran to the victim's aid, that was actually on the west side of Briar Road. No, that's not true. It can't have been. Constable Beat then arranged for you to be absent for a while by sending you for help. And during the 15 minutes you were away, he transplanted the crime scene. He moved all the things shown in this print, the victim herself, the 4 books. He moved everything, in fact, to the pavement on the east side of Briar Road. Extraordinary. But the constable overlooked one thing. What? What did he overlook? The bouquet, I presume. Exactly. Prosecution told the court just a few minutes ago about the discovery of the rose bouquet. Lord Von Ziek said it wasn't noticed until the morning, as it lay where the street lamps cast no light. Yes, it couldn't be seen in the dark, obviously. Which is why it was only the bouquet that was found in its original position on the pavement on the west side of Briar Road. And that is the defense's theory about what really happened that evening. How do you respond? Constable Raleigh Beat? Well, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to nod off again, but I haven't slept properly in a month. Did I miss anything important? Oh, Raleigh. It isn't true, is it? What the lawyer said is all lies, isn't it? I know it is, because you're the most upstanding, righteous man I know. I had a dream. A terrible dream. All the things I did that night. Everything came out. Everything exposed. Only it seems. It wasn't a dream at all. Good golly. Good golly. Great googly moogly. Order, order, order. What on earth is the meaning of all this? Oh, Raleigh, why? Why would you do such a thing? Why would you do something like this? Moving a corpse is a criminal offense, isn't it? Wishing the victim dead should be one, too. Constable, explain yourself. Why would you do this? As a respected member of Scotland Yard, your duty is to protect the good people of London Town. I can't say, sir. What? I really am ever so sorry about all this. For damaging the Yard's reputation, for everything. I have a possible explanation. For why on that particular evening? Constable Beat felt compelled to move the scene of the crime. I can think of one reason. What? What? How could you possibly know? You, a foreigner, presuming to understand the mind of a Scotland Yard policeman? And yet, Lord Von Zieks, it is this foreigner who has uncovered the startling truth of the matter thus far. I believe it would be beneficial to the court to hear this extraordinary young lawyer's theory. God, we're going long. Counsel for the defense, if you please. Yes, my lord. Now then, I think you had better show us some evidence. At once, my lord. England, Japan. It makes no difference where you come from. Human emotions are the same. And I think I have a fairly good idea of the feelings behind this man's actions. What gives away the motive for Constable Beat's unthinkable actions? There it is. Number 1. Yeah, there it is. When a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with initial investigations and help detectives. There it is, right there. Both of those things. Present?
Take that!
I realize that I'm a foreigner in this land, but I have only just arrived from Japan. Which is why all this information about London's so-called bobbies is completely new to me. I've learned that, though honorable, patrolling the beat is the most demanding work in the world, for example. Keeping the peace, looking after the citizens on his beat in all kinds of ways. There's no doubt that the young bobby is charged with a great deal to do each day. Certainly. But for Constable Beat, the day in question was special. Special? How? On account of this bouquet, my lord. Oh, yes. It was our very first wedding anniversary. Constable Beat had worked so hard to be able to afford this simple gift for his wife, and was so looking forward to taking her out for a celebratory meal, when he and Mrs. Beat stumbled upon a crime along Briar Road. When he saw that shadowy figure through the fog collapse on the pavement ahead of them, what must have gone through the man's mind? But sir, just on that one particular day I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary. Mrs. Beat puts up with a lot being married to a bobby like me. I wanted to show my dear wife how much I care. Sir? This is the warrant card that Constable Beat offered to lend me earlier. Inside, among the rules for patrolling policemen, it says, when a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with initial investigations and help detectives. Aha! Constable Beat. Is that or is that not the reason why you moved the whole scene of the crime that day? Yes, sir. Everything you said, it's all right. So that's it. It was all to do with the boundary of your beat. Oh? Exactly. To summarize, the incident actually occurred on Constable Beat's beat. Good gracious! Constable, do you realize the gravity of what you have done? It was the first time since I became a copper that I'd ever cursed God. Stay close to me, Pat. The criminal could be still lurking somewhere. As we ran over to the scene, I had every intention of doing my duty as a police officer. I've got to report this to the station as quickly as possible. But then it dawned on me. I realized where we were, where the victim was lying, and what that meant for me. When a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with initial investigations and help detectives. Why here? Why did this have to happen here? And why tonight of all nights? Why? Why, God, why? Sir? It's a cop's job to guard the scene of the crime, so... I told Pat she'd have to go to the nearest policeman box and fetch whoever was on duty there. It was then, when I opened my mouth to speak, his chest came out. I couldn't believe the words that were coming out of my mouth. This is the next beat to mine, Pat. So I had to go to the police box that covers it. Turn right along Mershcombe Street and then... Her eyes are watering. His or not? He's crying. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Great, I'm tearing up now. Oh, Constable. I just wanted, just that one night, to take my Patricia out for dinner. Oh, Rowley. Just that one night. You knew that if the incident was on your beat, your evening of celebration would be ruined. And so you decided to move the entire crime scene outside your jurisdiction. Just across the street to the east pavement of Briar Road, which falls under the neighboring beat's care. You see, I thought... Well, I was sure the victim was dead, you see. I beg your pardon? Oh, of course he did. Otherwise my rally would never have left the poor woman on the freezing cold pavement. Ah, I see your meaning now. But God got me back for my sins, didn't he? That's why I missed the rose I bought for Pat. Oh no, Rally, that was all my fault. I should never have dropped it in such a dark place. I'm so sorry, Rally. And you can tell us, Constable. How many books did you move from the one side of the road to the other in total? Huh? Oh, 4 it was. Yes, sir. Definitely 4. 3 of them dropped by Mr. Natsume, and the 4th being the one that fell from the window upstairs in the Gyardom household, of course. But what made you place that book in the victim's hand? When all the others were scattered haphazardly around, I mean. Oh, well, sir, that's because that's how I found it. She bent over to get the book, and the knife landed right in her back. Oh! How you found it? What do you mean? When we first ran over to the scene, the victim was already holding the book. So when I moved everything, I made sure it was still in her hand. You're sure it was this book, The Lion's Pride, that the victim was holding? Oh, yes, sir. No doubt about it, sir. Interesting. The 4th book's information has been updated. The book titled The Lion's Pride that was in the victim's hand when Mrs. Beat first ran over to see what happened. I thought it was an open and shut case at the time, you see. There were only the 2 people at the scene, and Pat and me both saw it happen. However, which way you look at it, it had to be the fellow who ran off who done it, I thought. I couldn't see the harm, really. I didn't think moving it all over the road would make a jot of difference. I suppose this is it for me now. I've had it. Data. My lord. Yes, Lord von Zieks. I believe that concludes the cross-examination of the witnesses. Constable, you may withdraw. Yes, sir. Mr. Prosecutor, sir. What will become of my Rally? What will happen to him? For now, you are free to go home. The police will contact you in due course. Please, don't punish my husband. This is all my fault. No, he's getting punished no matter what. It's because I'm always moaning at him for coming home late. Leave it now, Pat. Let's go home. I'm tired. Alright then, my love. One last thing, Constable. Sir? Let this be a lesson to you. In a criminal investigation, every detail matters, however insignificant it may seem to you. Yes, sir. Carve that lesson in your mind. And never again make the mistake of tampering with the scene of a crime. Huh? Never again, sir? You mean to say... Leave, now. This trial is not over yet. Sir? Yeah, we're gonna stop there. Okay, well, quite a startling revelation, I must say. Okay, stop there. We already hit an hour. Ah! Oh my god, this is a silly case. This is a silly case. Nothing beats the parrot, though. Nothing beats the parrot. Like, this is so silly, though. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Like, oh my god. Oh my god. Alright, so that's it for now. I had fun. Hope you have fun watching. That's what's all about, is having fun. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time. Holy crap, this case. Holy crap.